Hello, I'm Chris Matterly. This is a video Morel report for April the 20th, 2016. We've got the Missouri foray coming up and Indiana foray coming up, so hopefully that'll do well. Still got a report in Arkansas. Of some morels, but it's about done there. Still had a report in the North Georgia mountains of some black morels. It's kind of strange in the south. The blacks come later than further north. They don't respond as quickly. Dry in Tennessee. The foray was pretty rough on it just got, I think the spring was further along in Nashville than it was back home in Georgia, and it had been hot and dry, but we still had a couple reports in Tennessee. Still getting a few reports in Kentucky. And also the mountains of North Carolina. Still a few reports in Virginia and West Virginia. Indiana is kicking in good. Ohio also. And reports in Pennsylvania is kind of scarce because it's so dry there. And there's a section that has froze recently in the last day or so, after it warmed up in Indiana and Ohio, and a little bit of PA also. And I think the little babies coming up might have wiped some of them out, which is unfortunate. Did get a report in Iowa now. The cold spell that came through has slowed things down for northern areas of Illinois and Wisconsin and Minnesota, so maybe next week we'll start kicking in. Still getting reports in Missouri. And several in Kansas. Several reports in Nebraska. And reports in Oregon and Washington. The forecast for this upcoming week, it's little microclimates here and there, and there's areas that are dry, there's areas that got warm early and then got cold. Some areas are way below normal in fruiting, and some are about average. I haven't really seen any extreme hot spots as far as like way above average. I'm hoping that the northern states like northern Illinois and then Wisconsin and Minnesota and maybe northern half of Michigan is going to be good. with a better moderate spring and no drought and no up and down temperatures. But and then out west they're going to continue on in the mountains of Oregon and Washington, and also some areas of California. There's also some areas I've been watching in Arizona. There was a burn that should be warming up, and some of the western states, the valleys are getting warm, so possibly Idaho is going to be kicking in, I'm sure, and then probably areas of maybe even Montana, Colorado, Wyoming, or Utah. Those areas should, in the valleys, start getting a few reports. And it's moving into New England a little bit more. It's starting to warm up where there's been moisture, and we should start getting some reports in those areas. But right now, the hottest spots are going to be probably the southern half of Indiana, Ohio, and maybe up into central, and then Illinois, the same, and then over in Kansas and Missouri, and starting to get into Nebraska. Those would be the hottest spots, other than the mountains out west. That's the report for this week. Happy hunting, and we'll see you in the woods.